So what I say, on board drive or Facebook. But couldn't nipa 13. Sana nyame ya there. And 3 will be ashes here. If you say you have no control over the end. You go to school, you try a titration, right? Chemistry. When you start and you are titrating, you will not be able to know the end result. You might think that when you're correct, you might think that you are failing. I don't know, but who we are, when you are doing your calculations, finding your pH levels and the others, then you would come to appreciate the fact to say, weti, and I say, weta. Sana machete, ogro hua, when you say. Kofi granted, coffee morning. Bibi aboko.
Opening now today.
Happy
New Year.
Happy New Year. Na year ne say.
Oh, we see yetin kwem nko ade na anidaso
mo
you nti yeda onyankopon asese ode yen afi 2024 asem bibia koso pepepe se na onua mo ahyehye mo ne ma fefefe me ba mu se anije wum na obia sesro kama nti it's a good place to start the year. Me we so why you fine. Captain Ujina so ara
kakra bend. Nini? You be fine. You sure?
Yes.
Good. Now here any say.
It's off to a good start. What we can do in this year.
This year in Shia. I've been caught. Ivan.
Captain.
Akwaba.
Yeah, mo. Shia.
Oh, man, Krimu asemo ko na besi de besi.
2024.
Na ye free 2023 mu de.
So they the free na ye free.
So anyway, menim say ye dey we come BlackStars.
Oh, say I dey we dey yet be skin.
Welcome to me so mention.
Oh yeah, ni na.
Kofi be come BlackStars.
On the free hatch you know.
Oh, that is a Lagos star.
Oh, okay.
Not really.
I was hoping they'll come back because oh yes, I know they're not person won't be fair because one, it's going to cost the taxpayers money. It's going to cost the taxpayer too much money because on one country a budget of what they call it, and that's we had say almost some money, some $400 each person, and talking about over 200 or 300 people who have gone. It's said, oh, she said will be a $400 every individual. No, that's too much money wasted. And to me, I was even saying, if you look at the preparation before the game, there was nothing we were going to do that was going to be spectacular. And see, I didn't even watch yesterday's match. I was not surprised of the outcome.
Oh, okay.
And I'm saying yes. I was happy they came on because the longer they stayed there, DM it will cost us too much. And so yes, it's good we're back. And I don't know why Ghanaians are acting as if they are sad. Say they are surprised things went the way they were. What were we expecting from them? We don't even have a training pitch for our national our national football team. And see, for them to even go and do anything, I said outside the country to go and prepare. How do you expect these people to perform any different from what they did yesterday? And see, I think the hypocrisy should stop. If we're really serious about building Ghana football, we should have seen very good standards or good performance from the GFA. But from what is going, the performance matches exactly what they're doing with the Football Association in Ghana. And you know, it's not surprising. And yes, the boys did their best. We have some very promising stars in there. But again, we're looking for quality leadership to be able to groom the team and make it what it's supposed to be.
Right. What they are, no.
Yes, simple, short.
Yeah, Captain. Yes, with the BlackStars, and I think issues are my kind in the past, and so we with me play back in some Yakan my position has always been consistent. Me say BlackStars, let us dissolve the team. Yenguno, na ye shase sika na ye the tournament, ye invest in the local football. Because until see bit me build local football, I'm a local football, I pick it up, I bit me talent from the local football scene, has any BlackStar be out build the BR cannot survive. Look at teams no more performing at the AFCON. Almost a significant number of all the players are local players. Are those people no more commitment level high. But we are not willing to say you build the team. It is about a drew time now your tournament now. Yet let us look around, shop for players and say, yeah, importing BBR to a point. We are even importing players. ye hwe Ghana ni ne maame free ne papa free oh Ghana ni yankofa na mra. Those people, no cultural orientation when it comes to patriotism and those kind of stuff, like, it's a bit different. Obaha on Tessa. And again, football, my catch as a BlackStars and a cash cow for few greedy guys. Omufri said they call themselves football people. They think that football belongs to them, and they are doing it in such a way so they will make money. We went to Egypt and embarrass ourselves and came back. Akwaya no kasa ho minister ya. Otam ya de ko Egypt okoshi esika ba say yaba na yaba. Obi ya tournament. Ewe ne na mfaro na so. At the end of the day, we were crashed out of the tournament. Some of us placed the course and let us dissolve the team and build a team. Obianti and I ever signed another one. And for the first time, you qualify from the first group stage. And then this thing has happened again. No more who mahina, yes, sports journalists no mudia. I said they are surprised. Say Ghana crash out. Baby, I enemy Omu nimsa BlackStars any team. But you see, some of these guys are so greedy because they be the BlackStars and chi. You be to take it a mine. You cut tournament and I know Muko US is almost a sign of February actually because of Nemo Umbenya free. They are not willing to split the issues. Actually, I must say, let us dissolve the team. Yet Kromai, Accra House of Folk Agu, Kotoko Agu, all the local teams in Agu. Omo Baba who they so BlackStars ne Bobo and we need local players in Woma. So we support to Kra home bedding. But Saga tournament way now you building local football to a level Kotoko ni player has a focus on the player Diana you see second the support will be different. Go back to 2006 I World Cup I had the local players and as for but these people now are making the BlackStars a huge cash cow wasabi or making money say they don't care about local football say look at the local industry nobody is interested say yam fasikan shem yam build the team no Sebi, Ebedru baby no, we know say Yakasa BlackStar the Brazilian of African way now. You have Ghana football, your friends say Brazil when it comes to talent and then for them. Yeah, the situation now you're looking for players around the country. Young build your friends a football academy and say we create a core system na build there. Sabi you bet me a raise talent and more talent about. None about infrastructure. Recently, you close to Accra Sports Stadium, and as for say a renovation, and as for do you know the BlackStars air tournament way? Not stadium cry ever so acquire training, but the government has over the years invested so much in AstroTurf. AstroTurf in modern football now AstroTurf has no place. But these people are investing in AstroTurf. Kwame Chelsea in the sports stadium your friend is saying Kumasi no. Hona BlackStars koye na omo paye training na AstroTurf na ban sisi ni bebre no AstroTurf no se bi nyansa wom na ya de papa ade to won ko AstroTurf no so akwa training but you see all Accra Sports Stadium enya fit to pep enya fit for standard Kumasi the same thing the YCC your first central region so western region recently and of course Atita Pansam there was a time CAF inspectors eba and a yakoto paint green paint and a yade pompe grass and so nkofano ko no mko hu mutia ma na tu akomonam no say we just wanted to deceive them say your first grass no a green and is fit for purpose nkofano ko ho no mko tietia mu say paint and a yade painti yade painti grass no say be look green. We are deceiving ourselves. The fact is that we need some kind of a leadership. Bold. I'll bet me who said there is the need. Me say, I did Ghana for you here common sense. That is the only thing that we need. I'll be bold enough. I can say no, enough is enough. BlackStars over the years and we have invested so much. We are just going around shopping for players, assemble them to come and play for us. But in the next 5 years, you're dissolving the BlackStars. We are investing money in our Accra House of your local football. First year secondary school. Now those Milo games no mobile crowd now very very attractive. So government are serious those areas let's you put into those areas. So be able to build a lot of players. And as a players not coming on streamer, getting a national team is so easy. But if you don't have the talent, if you don't have the players, now we are just say over Kofi Inaki, no mama free and papa free, we have Fadamra, young Kofa, we no mama free and papa free, abandon the NIP, but nobody is willing to say, me buy my team upbring these players from your friends saying baby na obi ani momo to the lamplight and omo no be the core team omo the BlackStars and the BlackStars and the core team or your new core team you do ha frefre kobo side we keep on changing. So sports journalists they are aware, they are privy to this ugly fact, but they are not willing to sit there and point out and say no team na you need players, let us dissolve the team, build a team from the scratch for 5 years. we are more by Enchebia, almost never put you almost qualified to World Cup. So we be fooling ourselves around, wasting taxpayers' money. Now, when I'm going to say bad, then I'm on 40 TV, so I feel no blame. You can't blame the players, you can't blame the coach. So you will be blaming, you blame the political leadership among you willing to crack the whip. You blame a man for Mundim said team no any players, but still, I'm so and I sika didn't know. Now you push your to tournament. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes you begin to wonder whether common sense is expensive or maybe we don't even have it at all. Because near my way, at the way, you go Egypt to buy me, but TV also can say you deserve the Black Star. Because the way I see it, even in the next 5 years, if we were to go the same way, we say make tonto wakrano, young we need for be back room. I say, and it's not like say a prophecy, and I say it's just common sense is enough incentive to provoke any reasonable person to know. Say no, at the way I'm fashion, but sikadia benya dintino obia aye akatenani ena yedi akire wa say ya na baba me say de akoto ya afcon eye to fobo say ya nsesa ya dwen anya ya dwe say invest in football ye benya bibia free ma say ya na ebe ne mu nothing better will come. And Ghanaians are very emotional people, but it is time say ya de ya dwen ebedwen yemfa yakoma nwen ena yemfa muscles enwen ye de adwen a we team na dwen until say be say ye be chance say de adwen adwen no. Captain, some of these heartbreaks in Abeba.
Kofi.
Captain, Captain, minim na ye problem wa ha. Nenti American sa na say nation building ye very specific. We're a building nation. Ewo niema bia esese we na wa build foundation from the foundation na bibia wo pese we no ewo a possibility of success. It's so simple, enye complicated. So listen, the problem in your Black Stars, the problem Ghana does not have a leadership. Or say, how you do anything is almost always how you do everything. Say, ye need leadership pa ikura Ghana mu one winning Ghana senior SSA Ghana ya bribia pejija ebeye basa. School ye benya problem, healthcare ye benya problem, education system ye benya problem, employment ye benya problem, telecommunications problem, transportation problem, security bebia wo bekubia no problem wo ho. If you say we do not have a leadership what senia one wine omang ase ye nibi a small problem, a very small problem. Listen, there is no way Black Stars a bit to me ever consistently Wagana ha je yasesa yen leadership. The leadership of NDC MPP, there ain't your leadership worry about build the Black Stars. Because why you didn't now political? They be you could team no you could you didn't pakosha. Listen, it's not gonna work. Ghana for munti na making say yet tiasini wunyansa sebe ye pese ye dwene o man hu ba bia ye di. What's a try and error yende ya try yes ya ye errors now so ye pese ye sua de fi errors num nti ye bekoso abre onyankopon suri ntie ye mpaebo because wa kire yen nesese ye se adwene no de ama yen se ye mfa nwene yes ye pese ye de ye adwuma nti ye bekoso abre. Blacks na Black Stars see a problem. We a selection of one where the most qualified ube neutral ube maung eduang pedi ube maung vitamins sanom one maung baby or ube one training would one be a simple process. Success leaves clues of having say we are seeing baby obi up or soccer wouldn't mean success leaves clues. Ope say we team is successful at playing your results now and one year maybe as I say we Kanana workers Korea no money sankrofona ball cry who said was chichenefa. Say one now koye wobeshow. Adinti it leaves clues. Wa wunyansani now follow clues no. Now the enya results no. And yes simple. then the problem. There be a ye because you say follow system. Just say, no, you go in the opposite direction. It's your per results. Me, I don't even understand. I really don't understand. You any problem, then the preempt problem. You any problem of resource, you any problem of human capital, you any problem of sika. It's then problem. Say ye betia say adwene no baby enam no ye ni mental capacity say ye best select one a wo betumi adwene amayen ne ye beka se monwene mayen na ne ama mo de beba ne ye befa so ye de be adwuma no ye pese ye ne sa nti de bia ye bebo atwere sa say ye ni nyansa en sa no manyi akoye den bibia ye joke wonam bibia every sector bibia anya adwuma
bibia ye joke
ho na ti wo bibia ye joke wo Ghana just say ufi obi manso na obedu Ghana we say ah ti dem bone ne aye I me won just say what do amanso na hwe ne ma ekoso amanso me do me say me ra ho me ho a everything is a joke enti impanyufo amwo krom ha na den na how mo no problem pa ye den I don't even understand. They need excuse. BlackStars, me just say, hey, am a woman. I was here for Yansa, sa leadership here, you were in the Fourth Republic here. Ghana, yen to me, ye bribia, made the bia me catch them on that. Mary Cheng said, we don't come to the realization too late. It says, Uncle Free, Adjune, what team, what the chichen yamano, won't be. Worry nye bida. Bribia what the ones can be a say because they just don't have the mental capacity. I hope say you better come to the realization and son are you too late because me young problem I said we say okay catch you Nyankopon kro orintie. Obaka say mu ye jokers.
Then ask Kofi. Ghana BlackStars conceded 2 goals in 4 minutes.
Which I say, Anka more defense so crowd for more share 2 goals ni wie na 15 minutes to but more defense.
I had a winning bonus of $30,000.
Yes, if they had won.
So you see why should
so I was praying that they lose.
I was saying that they
so you don't pay each player $30,000.
The BlackStar is a cash cow for few guys.
Okay, the BlackStars are
they are just making money out of it. And we see the
leader making money because obviously they don't even understand money making. Because if it were making money, they would still make less than 15 minutes no more end the game.
No, it's not that money making. Going for the tournament, they knew we were not going to do anything. Because we've got into an era and now way countries in Africa like Mali. Mali didn't need anymore.
Mali.
Niger, we need more. But these countries and they've been able to set up proper academic system and youth tournament. Ghana cannot compete in Niger or your friend saying Mali. At the national level, when was the last time a Ghana share your friends Mali? Look at Burkina Faso and now have come to the realization say it takes effort to invest in football. Go there and look at the kind of academies. Koprampram na ko ha there. Dan almost CSC ho. Ya ko World Cup na ya ba sika na ya charity. How do you explain say you go to a World Cup, you come back and say officials, but could be $100,000. Really? Go back to America and ask people there how many years you have to work your ass to get even $50,000. Obiti America for 10 years. Ebia $15,000 grow you been to an account that. You go for World Cup for just 3 or 4 days. You come back and you have wired $100,000 into your account as an official. What follow? Ask some more about them, and then you sit here. People emotionally sit on TV and say BlackStars. You see, this whole BlackStar thing to me, I think it's absolute nonsense that we need to leave it.
Oh, hey, yeah.
All right. I am not disappointed because I don't expect.
Oh no.
I am happy we lost. I am happy. Said it, no. Maybe you won't tell us it, but so what done for being the teacher da? What the police say this soldier da? Aqua retirement, then a retirement, she come by. That's all the 90 minutes budget, $30,000 a day. It is my prayer we lose and lose and lose and
never even go
and lose until we treat all people the same in this country. There's a difference between me and Benjamin. na me ye ankrankre adwuma Ronaldo every week oji almost $300,000 bampacho oko Portugal kobo match a match 1 week 1 month club World Cup you man $200,000 dream individual adwuma ye different from a national assignment. And when Ghana, her minister feared to mention $160 million. Huh? I will fear her. It's in Ghana, yet we will be putting in $1 million and a whole. Oh my gosh. Yet your mayor, driver of a regional minister. It's with 15 million Ghana cedis ne gulan cruisem no ne car no ne sikani na no o ma dwane ne minister collapse you see we live in a country here the driver of GNPC KK Sapon it's with $100,000 equal chop bar
Captain, yes, I see.
The guy was doing live video with dollars,
hard cash.
Huh? $100,000. I said if you chop bar never.
Oh, any man
working for government. What kind of nasty country is this?
I mean, please come to think of these things. We live in a country here. A deputy minister for $20,000 Ghana cedis. No, they are two car boots. I make any car trunk. No, they are quasi car washing bay. Na sikani bi ayira na call police station call your report police for be say wo di sikani kwan ase na me de kodi mutuo we ya ponko
mun say nim nyansa nka ho and you see people we have placed in leadership position sometimes
more
former state housing corporation penny or dano na every month ne lunch sika 100,000 Oya Ponko.
Oh my gosh.
Nani phone bills. 33,000 Ghana cedis. Phone bill.
At the call center.
I'm afraid Busana or say Oyem from Swan or ye call India and Japan. Na Oja phone no to office. Wow. No Kofi mobile phone.
And no credit. Yeah.
And a year car at that home. We live in a country it's $14.8 million. A charter flight the two from here to Brazil. Now plane in Landia. Na government no Brazil at 30%. Now Ghana buy it to me hunyansa and the remaining 30% no ato card so they are small business and fako.
Hey.
What if I want to add 3?
Okay, add then I will continue.
Right. Until we're in the same country, a buying auditor, catching and saying 2020, 12.8 billion Ghana cedis a year. Into me traces as
that's right.
No problem. 2021, sa buying auditor na catching and say 2021, 17.5 billion Ghana cedis a year.
2022.
I know they're entering, but yet on my move when I catch and say a buying account at GCB Bank. I say 52 billion Ghana cedis was transferred to some unknown account. It is Canashe. And we are in this country.
Number 3, no. Yet your mayor BlackStars socks are one of ball every Kofi was on the TV. Socks now must share the ball match in the year, you know. You say the $150,000 and a laundry year, so basic socks and the one year jerseys, no. One more year, which we now play the move about Ghana. Nah. Socks no one here see ye refi ye jawo laundry ho.
See, Captain.
What's a captain?
Captain. No, yeah.
What's it on maya? We nya kwabrane no je bottom allowance.
150 Ghana cedis.
150 Ghana cedis a month. Bottoms allowance. Now I je belt hook. Belt hook allowance.
Kilometer allowance.
No, I did belt hook allowance.
This kind of joke.
Ma'am. Hey, what's your name? You see, minister. newspapers are all kind. What kind of 6 months? 200,000 Ghana cedis. But you be say real. Na Ghana, you quiet. What's your maya? Auctioneer. Buy a jack cars, pickups and me and some man who say auction. Na first Ghana bra. Or say, while auction cars in the and a car back home. Back car, na car, you know, he'll be a man to the atoso. Wait. Oh my God. Now what what's the public accounts committee? No, say to is human.
God will judge you.
Now, Yejano, we live in a country, office of the president.
Fellow Ghanaians.
I fear me nipe wo doors no. Odi 1.1 billion. I fear nipa wo hono swate no. The same office at 3.7 billion Ghana cedis neko. Office of the president. No, we live in a country. Sika ya dia ye water what Germany na. Of over 800,000 kilometers no. The same amount of money, and yet they are 70,000 kilometers of Wedjuma. No, please, please. No. I mean, Wontumi.
Captain, once some are working in a leadership crisis.
Are you?
Because say a tyranno pro our soroha, they are useless. Because I'm saying to me build a proper leadership at the top. I'll be to me that kind of direction. I'll be to me am I on my who the all corner. Say and some no cast walk overcome the action and start and mistakes, you know, all other countries have mistakes, you see. You learn from your mistake and then you rise again and even become stronger. But Ghana no mistake this year, we are likely to repeat the mistake sevenfold. We don't learn anything and consistently we keep falling. Leadership because until say going forward, no, we need to place intelligent people with vision. Among for sabi, you can leadership, leadership. Party. Nsemia abaho kumasi awoka Wontumi asemi. About the saying and characters like this, it me get access to frontline politics. Because we take kasane and some or sometimes or kasa akra. Like sometimes you begin to wonder how these people got access to frontline politics in Ghana. And me say manenyo onwa. Omonena ne muse ya no few years to come no the person will tell you I want to be president because president has become so cheap say any person at all can just pop up and say I want to be president because it doesn't take much to be president in Africa. It doesn't take much to be president in our part of the world. So these characters, you know, you see now no matter that people were blaming him say or disrespect Otumfo then as for I didn't see so disrespect Otumfo. Nipa onim nyansa say oya dia he doesn't even realize say ade na oya eheti obi obi a onim nyansa oya dia he doesn't even realize say ade na oya no ewo some unintended consequences are ever resulted in the buy no because this is a guy who goes to venting his frustration or whatever and he's telling people say in Kumasi no he has an army. I am telling you say Ghana is a serious country and kaya picking up. Because it is against the law to set an army. Ghana Hambrabima will be consulted to me as setting up an army. Even private security, see what they did. Yes. Private security can set it up. You need to go for authorization from your friends, the ministry, and send what you set it up. So this is a guy telling you, say, your friend say, I want a private army, and I say, I the military, I Kumasi, the kingdom, and I say, for if we are to take in some now, can you see the first thing is for him to be picked by the security. Now, you misano. Baby asa security because we've gone into an election sir yahu amanfo asoja fo asabi omobo amanfo tuo in a way people nipa ntiase so those people know were they part of Wontumi's so-called military now can ho asab na these are issues we really need to investigate but Makacho said baby yeba beduru no characters like that no I say you first na ye nima we really need to be very reasonable na yen shall identify those people and say they have no space in our politics. Those characters have no space because consistently threaten our cohesion, threaten our political stability, threaten your democracy because obetimeko kan assemble asabi e de oye na so for mind betimi atu your fence saying abaye de o pesa o kan enyeye. And now look at that problem between Asante Youth or MPP and then Wontumi back and forth. Some we could have used that particular time to discuss something very productive, but we are wasting time on some of these issues. All because and these are people we proud to say leaders and such. Just imagine you go to a cabinet meeting and answer any important meeting of the party and characters like that are there taking initiative for Yede Omaino Ebebu, and on the other side, the president himself doesn't even give a damn about it because the last time I say Kumfi chiefs, the president was bold enough to look them in their faces and told them, "Say, may ignore me because man to Obama." Yes, so that is a very infantile and childish comment to make. And such comments must not come from a president because as a president, you are president of all, irrespective of who voted for you or who didn't. Once our president, who cares who voted for you or who didn't vote for you? Because taxes are also win the development more taxes can home. National cake they are part of it. And you have every right to ensure so who disperse the cake. Now these people the entitlement they must get it. But to a point a president will open his mouth and say, it tells you the kind of vindictive person he is. The kind of orientation or what it is the BlackStars house and such a person our supervisor or minor they yet media to form one because the mentality, the psyche and the thinking of the president and take a gun of because he's telling you say one to about manner development there and some of these things you take it with a pinch where because can show an interview about vote achieve for development you saw the kind of cheeky way on the man that is his nature. Oko Kumase Ashanti region, all the regions, baby, only the vote to free. Baby, ana Kwakutemba no one from saying. Kwabre. So how no move vote in your free. A whole road and another journalist who be saying, people are complaining, say, one man may crying. I say vote when Kokromutini out there, do one on to about Paiwe. That is the comment from the president. One to about man on Fahon. So you see, when you put people like this in leadership position, you do not expect your mind. That is why I keep telling people, say, we are not victims, we are sponsors and accomplices of this theft regime. Boy. They say we are not, nobody is a victim. We are all sponsors and accomplices. And I yet has say because yet I give you life to this particular thing because you can't eat your cake and have it. You can't go and vote for somebody and say you will not expect the consequences to come because Bakacho say we are very emotional people. Yan shasi am for yeti amen. Na ye koso de yakoma edwen. Na ye be very emotional. Na ena me party nie na me party nie. Na ye begin anhwe nipa no mu anhu nipa asabi. Owo nimdia yedibu o man. Yes, political power. Me say the most dangerous thing to do is to arm a fool with political power. So who arm a fool with the political power would me say well, because that is the kind of idea play out to Kumase. To me, look at the guy today. He has a political power. And he can just sit down and tell you, say, I have my own army, I have my kingdom, then as a forum. Hopefully, you can buy another Kumase. Could he make that particular comment? But today, people have armed him with power, and we have characters like that a lot over the years. We've been arming a lot of fools with political power. We have made them very powerful, and when a fool gets political power, they use it to terrorize the very people who gave them the power. So at the end of the day, you see as a victims, but I'm saying, we are not victims, we are sponsors. And we deserve what is happening to us. Until say who said there is the need for us to learn from this. And because of the SC, and there will be also for President Daddy. Every character pops up anywhere and says, I want to be president. Because the presidency is so cheap, say Obia betime captain. In a real leadership sense. If you're looking for somebody to lead, there are certain basic characteristics that you need to look at for. The last time the key one is empathy. As a president, you have to be very empathetic. Place humanity at the center of leadership.
Exactly.
Because Ghana for two UK, you care no more. Go and look at Nipo. This some are imbeciles, as I said, almost named for so as he also. Those people have no productive output for mining as for, but government, are spending a fortune importing people from Africa to go and take care of an imbecile, people who cannot do anything. I didn't tell you, sir, because they know, sir, as a government, they have a duty to take care of humanity. These people are vulnerable people. They deserve to be taken care of. But you have no, why are you healthy? Who cares about you? Why are you healthy? No. Go to the traffic and go and see young ladies in their, your friends saying, you have an energetic stage across the Chino Tom Piota. They have no future. And we sit here, you talk cars, I can see cars are sabi US senators sentiment and a imported back room as an enemy who said I will show cars. I will say a man for imported back room. I say these are very expensive cars. We have a refined taste for some of these things. Like our people are suffering. So my catcher say Nyankopo is not coming to save any food because God doesn't have time for fools. Until say we are the only people who can save ourselves, Nobody is coming to save us. Yet, these people will continue to take advantage of us. And at the end of the day, you feel say we are victims of social media. People are screaming there. Nobody should scream because we are all part of this. We are going to suffer until see because so when you continue to suffer. Because about the saying on my team, we keep telling ourselves that we have all the resources. Now, Western Regional Chiefs, Adjatum said, your friend is saying, lithium deal is okay.
No. I have for this one consent.
But it's on the front page. Okay.
I have for this one.
Then it's better.
Man was Central Region over the weekend.
Okay.
I spoke to about 13 paramount chiefs.
Okay.
When we say no money penny buy and kind. We say agreement no more juma. Not the more she said man for what one find shame answer. Okay, then I'm taking you by your words. Because that is all that we are asking for. Yeah, yesterday I said it.
I dare benefiting the people. Because lithium now a boy you be creating new because that is the new way. But Captain Bakacha said until say you be place nipa said we are not drain kwa chiri edi leadership position oba I'm a principal. The last time I was telling somebody say who do you think is the richest person ever to have lived on this planet called Ghana? I'm for everybody we saw that farm said that as for me said that no body I didn't tell what the farms source because because it is not about cash, it is not about money, it is about the character then as for so Nkrumah happens to be the richest person ever to have lived because say I'm not say Nkrumah at a plot will be a dream when you wake up in the morning the guy is in your brain whether you like it or not. The guy has bought your friends every political book be Africa the front page he's there. Talk about politics in Africa. That is how rich the guy was. So isn't about me must die our easily gone. Me my real estate. Me my say. So don't come and tell people say you have made money and for that matter people should make you a leader. Are you mad? Who says leadership and money they are two different things altogether? Because US and financiers no more financing those political parties. They could have gone down and say I want to lead. Now US and Joe Biden a better president. And I say Donald Trump no yes o sika there but ono no sika cry say Elon Musk will be there wanting to be president. US and the Mercer families now the Mercer family or the sponsor the Republican Party or then the Biden as a foreign they could have come over the years you sign a check but you see you look for somebody with the weight very intelligent somebody our vision I will support that particular vision nipa our certain basic characteristics the vision the person is trustworthy our prove say nipa way you can rely on that particular person our vision and that vision deliver long-term goal. A very yes, the empathy is the first thing. Yes. Empathy, and that is what our leaders don't have. There, Nankaiban said Nankasila da paba $1 million. I want them. Na ne servant be koku wiabi. It's something that we need to sit down and dissect because you have $1 million in your room, which means that you have a lot of cash in your place. And if you are good to your people, they will not steal from you. But Opa Tenhana ye survey. Every politician be the two better and then Nimbeguasi Biano. Nipa omodo omohon semba him for. And then the cook and then the security, and then the security and then the driver. Because these people in their homes, they treat them like shit. They don't care. But they forget that their lives depend on your driver. Your entire life depend on your cook. Your entire life depends on your security. But go and look at the way even some of these people even talk to their drivers, they talk to their security, they talk to their cook. To them, they see them as an inferior people because they don't care. Humanity, and idea party, they don't have it because not being so too many we are. so sort of training per console. That is what I was telling you, say, black man. Your orientation about power, no, isn't about say, maybe now we create space every year, need our potential, but we after your potential. No, maybe do what now someone who say, man, I'm your boss, no.
That's right.
Now, my do somewhat do see, and I said, you could that wakaime, who pay be an idea for phone, a frebe. That is the kind of leadership I want. But Aboriginal as a for no, I think that. They have created the environment if you are willing to work, even though I'm on for humanity, but if you are willing to work, you make money. You don't rely on anybody. But the people are willing to work, but you can't even get a job to do. Nobody is willing. So and these same sick people are yet from high will go on radio, on TV, on social media, and we are defending. Sometimes we are even defending people you don't even know, people you have never even met, people who don't even care about you, people who don't even know you exist. These people, they fall sick or find a passport up to our no never area to our no now what's ya call the book. You can't even access healthcare. You sit and emotionally defending these nasty things. I am saying say obia and time obia, but we want to build an equitable society where people will have access. And I say never bet me I incentivize the kind of way never you know say we will be able to media maximize the potential wonimu because yet obia want the potential whether nipa no go school and that's why go school, whether the person is sick or not well, whether the person is educated, obia want the potential. But that's minor. You have to build a platform. Say ya obia kakra bi obia no e betime page nipa no e dia cost. But consistently Africa, look at the youth population that we have. Always nothing better is coming out of it because we are youth to Africa. We are useless. These people, that is why they risk their life all the way to Middle East. Look at a lot of young ladies. Dubai, then as a forum. There is no life at that particular place because any industrial world, people go into servitude, modern day slavery. That is what people are selling people to. Agents government is aware. They come on TV, they advertise because young family we allow them to advertise these things. Then they send people to slavery. Go to Libya. I'm for why? Because there is no life in their country. Our leaders are living lavishly. Why can't we say to ourselves, enough is enough? This is the time I said, build a platform, young people, be your life. Captain, me say, yeah, and you're meeting us a way. Say, Yansa, doing any emotions and free my brand.
Right. Captain, there was a English writer, a friend of George Orwell, a Troy book be a friend of Animal Farm. And there's another book of Troy, a friend in 1984. Now, so person who the ecosystems here in Ghana and the world in general, if you read those books, you see exactly what is happening. Now, Okansembi will say one of his greatest fears, and he said, it will get to a point where books will be banned. And there was another writer, a friend in Aldous Huxley, about or say, oh no, and yes, sir, he's afraid, sir, they will ban books. But he's afraid, sir, there will be too many books, but people will not read.
There will be too many books,
but people will not read. Yes. Sure. George Orwell said the truth. His fear is that the truth will be suppressed. Aldous Huxley out because his fear is that not that the truth will be suppressed, but that there will be too much truth that will be lost in irrelevance. Say, you be nonsense afra no carry no. It's who say we need to. Yes. These are two very sharp minds who spoke about what they see the future to be like. And Captain Zosha and then everything is playing out the way it's supposed to be. George Orwell said one other thing. Say you can't tyranny. You find so-called civil libertarians and now you find liberals. No, they're very quick to point out tyranny and say this is a tyrant, this is wrong, but they don't take into consideration. Say human beings have an infinite appetite for distractions. I'll give a clear example, Captain. On the 27th of December 2023, it was a Wednesday, at 2 a.m. in the morning, Parliament sat and passed 5 new tax bills. They approved the appropriation bill that gave government a spending power of over 250 billion cedis. You know what Ghanaians were doing at that time? Now you're chilling, now you're pop. Yes. No more papi. People were having fun.
Prophecy. 31st night.
People were having fun. People were following some ton things. Yes. Whether it's the cookathon, the singathon, everything ton. People were following those things. Till date, Ghanaians don't even know, sir, these are the things that we are under and that these laws have been passed. They've come into effect. Are you aware, sir, West Africa Pipeline have given an ultimatum, sir, on the 28th of January, that is just a few days away, a so-called regulatory tests on the pipeline until Mbe shut it down regularly from 28th. What it means is that we are going to have doom. So, yes, that is what it is. But how many Ghanaians know about these things? But everybody's mind is on BlackStars going to play some match somewhere, and they didn't perform. I saw someone throwing tantrums on the screen. Say, so he's throwing his hands about, say, Nibuefu. Such madness. Is he aware? Say they're going to shut down the pipeline, which means we're going to have constant electricity supply from 28th January. Is he aware? This is what Huxley was talking about. So we have an infinite appetite for distractions. And see, human beings naturally don't want to face responsibility. And see, anything that will take our minds away from responsibility, we jump there. Now, if we're going to face our responsibilities as citizens, what is the number one responsibility of any citizen in any country? Is that you hold your elected representatives to account. Which means you have to follow everything they do and make sure that they all that's exactly what they do, which is responsibility. But because we don't want to face our responsibilities, no, we act as if we don't care. And see, anything that happens is as if you're entail. 5 new taxes have been passed. VAT has been increased. VAT applies to every single commodity that you use. Pure water is affected by tax and by VAT. Fuel prices are affected by VAT. And see, once VAT goes up, everything is affected. That is one. Now, mind you, VAT is on petroleum products as well. I'm going to introduce another bill called the emissions tax, which is going to be specifically on petroleum products. Which means after which you have VAT on petrol, diesel, you pay an additional tax from emissions tax on that. And if petrol prices affect everything in the country, you are going to have a double increase on fuel prices. What is that going to do to people? But what are Ghanaians focusing about? About some useless football team performing somewhere. That's what we are focusing about. But nobody's having the real issues. Like you said, we deserve everything we are getting because we're not victims, we are accomplices. Because if we were serious citizens, we would have taken responsibility of making sure that those we've put in power will do exactly what they've been put in there to do. What is even annoying is, you go on to have this conversation with people. People are gearing up when party colors say, in December. You ask them, on what issues are we going to vote? Say, are you not aware that it is MPP and NDC that are in parliament that pass these 5 new taxes? What did the so-called opposition do in there? Now, if you don't understand this thing, say MPP and NDC are the same, let me explain this thing to you. Will NDC MPs in parliament, on my salaries, everything is going to be paid from a buying budget. It is from the budget called parliament, and they make all the noise about it. Understand, say, the opposition members of parliament will have all their salaries paid from that same budget. Or my allowances will come from the same budget. The V8 cars and all those things that they've been driving will come from that same budget. And when they come out and tell you, say, the budget is too that, government has borrowed too much, they are the same beneficiaries of all those borrowed monies. Now it's time for you to wise up and stop being a fool. So you are following party colors. We are an MPP, NDC. They're the very same people who are breaking this country. But you have people wearing their colors going out to support them. Left to me alone, I wish we would beat anyone who wears those party colors. Yes, beat any youth who thinks he's sensible. Let me see you go out to vote for these people or following these people for campaigns and all those things. It means you have no sense. You should be dealt with. Because yes, we're not victims. We come out and support the very same people who are oppressing us, and we act as if we are not aware of what is happening. What kind of a joke is this? And like you said, it has become so cheap that any fool thinks they can wake up and become president. Because of course there's no leadership. Yes, there's no leadership. That is the highest office in the land. And see, if you are a pastor and you call yourself whichever post, right hand to God or whatever it is, you are under the president of the land. So you cannot sit down and allow any fool to occupy that seat, because that fool will be higher than your position. This goes to everybody in the country. And so we should be very careful. I said this thing. People go out and they throw this argument, say, the president has too many powers. And some of the powers for the president. I said, no, that's a very deadly mistake. I'll give an instance. Say, 12-year-old Akofa Tuo, and has done something bad with the gun, has shot someone or killed some people. You don't say because Akofa Tuo, no, we should ban all guns. No. That same gun in the hands of a disciplined, well-trained officer is a very good weapon. So you don't say because a child has had access to that, you ban all guns. No, what you should do is make it very, very difficult for any child or any unqualified person to have access to that gun. Yeah,
so too much responsibility means the office is reserved for very intelligent,
very competent people. Yes, that's the very thing we have to do. So we don't say the president has too many powers. No, the problem is that we put too many fools into that position. And that's why it seems as if they are abusing power. Because understand this, if you put Jesus into that seat of the president, and you have other people being able to stop him from doing his work, how will Jesus perform? And see, the presidency is not supposed to be given to, we should make it very, very difficult. Say not anybody can have access to the highest office of the land. That is what we should be focusing on. But again, I'll go back to my people. See, too much. It's been too long we've been fooling ourselves for over 30 years. At the time when we started the so-called Fourth Republic, that was in 92. We started the same project with China. China from 92 to date has been able to take out 800 million people from poverty. 800 million people from poverty from 92 to date. Today they're telling us, your national debt for every Ghanaian. No, we're having about over 25,000 Ghana cedis. That's what each person has to pay. Now, we monthly salary, we savings, and if we're going to pay back 25,000 Ghana cedis for every Ghanaian citizen, how many years will it take you for you to save that money to pay back? We should start thinking. And this goes out to the youth again. It's not everyone who comes out and shouts, my Lord, that will enter heaven. To it. It is not everyone who comes to you, tells you that I can do this, I want this, I want to be president, to vote for me, that you follow. No. It's about time that we use our brains and our minds. It is your future that is being leveraged. Me say, when Rawlings was president, most of you were not born. Rawlings got J loans B. We started paying most of those loans from 2016. So understand that all the loans that these so-called people are taking in our names, we the youth are going to pay for these things after 10, 20 years. And if you don't sit down and let them say, Mama, we need that all. Yes. And Captain, you see, left to me alone, look, we don't need a democracy in this country. Captain. No, but Captain, I'm just saying this. Tell your host, and then the say we don't need democracy in this country. We've trust our level, no? Because democracy said everybody should speak their minds. What minds are people speaking? With all the foolishness that's happening, who is able to speak sense to people in power? Everyone is just taking everything that they're dishing out. How is this a democracy? I said Ghana doesn't need a democracy. We need a benevolent dictatorship. Someone who is sensible up there, but very strict, like the Lee Kuan Yews, like the Chairman Maos of China. Like, if I'll even give an example in Africa here, what Kagame is doing in Rwanda. Go to Rwanda and go and do this foolishness. Say, World Cup tournament, spending, you've been able to make about $100,000 under Kagame. Go and say this nonsense to him. And you understand this. If you are mean Kasembi, or say, there's freedom of speech, no problem. But I cannot guarantee your freedom after you speak. Yes. And see, you can speak your mind, that is no problem. But make sure, say, you speak sense. Captain, this is my last point to wrap up. When in this country, when we're told, say, a fight between two people caused the entire Ghana economy to shrink or to crash, nearly crash. Russia, Ukraine. So far, world map, and you find where Ghana is and you find where Russia and Ukraine is, we are not neighbors. There's a big sea between all of us and very vast land. Now, if the fight between two countries could cause the Ghanaian economy to have the effects it had, and today they're still blaming the Russia-Ukraine war for all the problems we're having in Ghana, no problem. Are you aware? Say, Sweden has given the Swedish president has given an announcement to his citizens to prepare for war. So they should start buying foodstuff and supplies to last for about 36 hours. This is Sweden, who are closer to Russia, Ukraine, and that area where there's war. There's war springing up across Europe, and everybody is gearing up for the trouble coming. What are we doing? We are focusing on Black Stars winning some match somewhere. Are we saying Rwanda, DRC, and Eritrea and Ethiopia are all gearing up for war right here on the African continent? So everywhere you look, there's rumors of war or agitations towards war. And if Russia and Ukraine, just two countries fighting, could cause the Ghanaian economy to shrink and to nearly shut down. Can you imagine what will happen if all these global powers, especially Europe, where we get all our food and supplies from, are going into war? What will happen to the Ghanaian economy? And instead of having sensible people thinking about this, again, we go back to the distractions.
We will pray God will save us. We will pray.
That's a wonder.
Goodness. We will pray God will save us. Right.
Captain, in every society, even in Emwa, animal kingdom, was selected the best of the best to lead them. Emwa. What for the strongest, the wisest, the best pack in the pack no one lead one. Because one crowd no one who say one no a vast majority no into me news one adwene ye. Sana nipa nso yetening. Now the problem yen ye wo see ne say the conscious few ne ewo yemu a say yetena se ne ye fa adwene na ye make decision ma wanga akano yen na ya recline to the back because yen na what the ade ahye yen ano wen pay nti mo in a position to speak for the masses no my imagine say more nkasa ebi ye nananom ebinom ye nananom empanyimfo a wote nkunwa akese so won aye wadwene say won kasa ebinom ye asofo empanyimfo a wokura dom akese enso one collection penny here one pese wo bekasa wo hu na ekoso wo hu se won mare bre enso won kasa if you say won abre won V8 one ma won privileges be one ma won accesses be inti won kasa inti na memory bisa mo ne se ene mo amoye empanyimfo wo society in the community imuno inti a right to say mumu sankrofo no mu hold musa position no of clearance nana because the people you have been put to administer no mun fa won nyehwe you don't care for your people asofo ahemfo ahemia impanyimfo amu krom ha statesmen state women mun fa munipa enyehwe and one allow the rapists what come out at night one decimate the whole entire society and I say ye degenerate to a point I be BR say ye laughing stock will be BR was throwing because it seems to say somewhere somehow no we have lost it. I to say sebe yenim nyansa yeti ha no ma captain worry mayeng a list of niama ekoso no nenti emisu ne say se mitu kwan woko Shanghai woko Singapore woko Japan woko Germany woko Kuwait UAE woko Qatar nom na woko utukwan na wohwe the extent at which one select one prune process now say you don't even have a matrix for picking leaders just say why you know at such a high level say wodwene ho akra wonte ase na wode yi nipa no wote won wodwene ma omangama sana omangama bediye the extent at which our person one society say wo bediye boys the girls youth benye nyuma kwan ho beye fe wo bedu baby listen me Singapore would do baby there is a fragrance up where did you ama emma fragrance now we now kwam now to say who you wham let me say are you serious what person who you wham mahina no man hey yen gota yen twin ubekon we tifi no de agu kwan no ho na ka afa so na ministers nam ho parliamentarians nam ho executive wonam ho enfo bia ho inti who runs this country?
I like the example you gave of Singapore.
No, seriously. Yeah. They go to the extent me say
let me just chip this in there. Captain, when himself Singapore police officer, he trying on $16 an hour. And yes, senior officer, so entry level Singapore police officer, it's $16 an hour.
Our party says one is so.
No, but compared to Ghanaian police.
Oh, they be.
I'm saying they are paying their entry level $16 an hour.
$16 no, made to be Singapore no.
I'm saying that's entry level. But I'm saying compared to Ghanaian police officers, chief inspector. $160 into CDs times. Say only times 10, 1,600 a day.
And the 2 days salary. Na Ghana police officer and 1 month salary.
And entry level. Who can senior officer? Ghana senior officer.
One SCC Adam say, "Oh, first now focus. Ghana don't tina ya adwene se bia nya adwuma." One SCC shelters are. One am chroma na ho dra. To me go into an air conditioning dome just to cool off.
Yeah.
I mean, Massa, what do I say? Hey,
leadership.
Hey, Shanghai, what do Shanghai? Where CC buildings say, Moma ko school, na musia de kakra, mo pese mo de mo further, more education. Over corner supercomputers, virtual reality. Artificial intelligence, cellular intelligence, augmented reality, distributed ledger technology. Then now we're at your fingertips. Now mofra, Captain, to say obey. I order you. Now what the Niyama Shawan say. Now hey, the Adrian now be di.
Hey, Mundi, hey now okay.
Just said me who drew me, Captain. Hey, one places now. You can't understand. It me who send na what can say obi button hook no di allowance. Na niama obi to me
kilometric allowance.
Na me
height allowance. Depth allowance.
Why?
We just need to face reality.
No, seriously, bear with me for 1 second. You are don't say maybe perhaps you bet me kakrabin po Ghana. I'm a nipa. Hey, let me tell you, you're the number 6 country in the world in gold revenues. Number 1 in Africa. Yes, say yenya nipa what did they do? In Crawford wonga ko college, ye sika ma won. Now wonga go through a matriculation. Now what out? Now what did the kiosk move? What did the containers who were due? When ye baby na kona kwa circle. Aye a homeless zone. Nipa did that from fee. Why? There's no need. Listen. $6.8 billion na yenya in revenues from gold in 2022 no. 20 billion of young gold ended up in the gold souks of Dubai. How did that happen? Now, 20 billion, if you added value times 10, which everywhere in the world, you know, first thing I check gold value. A kilo, about $66,000. 1 kilo of gold. Phone so singing. $66,000 minimum. If you added a value add of 10 to young gold, the air 20 billion, and that's 200 billion. What can you not do in Ghana? In 16 regions. So what my 16 region be at $10 billion of development every year, you still left with 40 billion, and that's only in gold. Yanye oil, yanye cocoa, yanye bribia, iti ebusiafo. Ye take in more than 55 billion cedis every year in Ghana. 55 billion from social services nominally. Then ye disikani. Does it make sense to say unipa ba kope be what 10 million, 50 million? No, di be kwa sie. No, be ma obroni in a Swiss account and our offshore account to be enya hon faso. Wabre nipa nye juma wa ha. Does it make sense? Want to me fa sika in fia brochiri intra merebe. wokura $10,000 wo wobema okramanga asne phone wa kase sika no ntumi mfamfi kro no je wokura wo statement to prove it wokura sika no no antumi improve a mo fese sika no afi ho wo confiscate wo de kogu account so say what declare say nye sika Ghana obi tumi sua kotoku of sika fi ha kwa bruchiri meja dem ne how yen Ghana for mon kan kire me what problem ni ye den. How can we have our boys and girls suffer eso obia koyi no ho no one ne da no one ne ya academia aden necessary ye sa ye say morally no ye degenerate to a point and na me hwe TikToks na me ra
say one man for gugu ye
just say mo frank tinkiting na enkwasi asem kan ya de listen let me tell you woko China enkwasi ade no TikTok ni China bisan anya na me fra na ma me VPN me ko do Shanghai me fra Ivan no ma me VPN na me tumi ginya access because WhatsApp ni ho because what per se what control niama eko won adwim abofra bia wo wo no ewo niama esese wo ma eko na adwim no wo di develop no wo ma bribifo bia anko yende ya ma niama fo wo wiase mu na eko so wo Ghana captain
yes
sir ya problem mentiasio Ghana fo mentiasio
obetiasio wale
mentiasi mahama pesoba mahama obeden
the honeymoon
wa friend Bahumia opese oba Bahumia den plan na wo den adwene pa na mo wo mo pese mo de ba na mo de ba bua Ghana den plan na mo wo Ghana for youth listen let me tell you something 2024 Ghana for youth some asesa sa ban na mo anyi sa NDC ni MPP fu emfi ho na mo wo sang ba me de ba hokoro menso mo be brew do wiase a mo be kese help enye duabo bra bo ba be bren because mahama mo mo so opeso oban anya hwe oba be ya magano ono no waka kire mu se ono no honeymoon no reban ono me ya hwe wanya mam warning bra ba humia de munim so on de zero na na obo inti no no huia emagano oye a liability for Ghana then pa na how Ghana for when are you going to detach mentally psychologically emotionally from NDC and MPP this is our last shot at over 600 billion cities of debt no industry 99% of your domestic market here acquired by China any other nations yeni akwan yeni schools mo amuko schools am graduate ni munya aduma nye so much so say o man ba ko pe wo Ghana ye wo an unemployed that's an oxymoron obrodi kaso oxymoron what you say
it's an
having two opposite words together
no but it's a moron that breathes in oxygen
that's a beautiful moment.
Yes, joining two opposite words together.
Meja, how do you have an? But I said
the foolish wise man is an oxymoron.
Military intelligence. Okay, that's okay. Guys, me pamucho. This is our last chance. Ma kasa ma me mene craft because yaw me waka mo kasa ne mana eba mi su. This is the moment for the youth. Youth, don't make that mistake. These guys, they don't have the mental capacity to lead. This is it for them. We have to retire them. We have to retire Mahama and the NDC. We have to retire Bahumia and the MPP. We have to retire because
all the political parties in the Fourth Republic have to be retired.
Yes, we have to retire them. Yeah, the youth has to take over. We have to start building planes. We have to start building rocket ships. We have to start building. We have to go into epigenetics. We have to go to the darkest place of the moon. As I say, Niyama. As I say, Obi Bagana. With 32 million people. How can one country in 30 years take 800 million people out of poverty. 32 million people
are going deeper into poverty.
It's almost me do kutuka na me do kutuka na say no. It's almost as if say we're Ghana. They want to punish you. Say masa, Ghana view. Ati Ghana view. Abrochi baby udua. They are so welcoming. What percent when you a favorable experience and now power kwaka na what percent more baby. Ghana do be do I say what punish you say media. In some mahabio ni here waha. And I say obia oni nyansa no what skill or what where figana. Inti krona aye wanga akronfo for the most part. And wanga water cheng na wenya won visas no be fi krom ha. One penaka. Obia ni krom ha no ma owa hanom say or etra for the long term. Je wanga say bia wan do pointer wan give up say one person could be. Aden ye your man sa. Ni say your man. Mon sorry, impanyufo asofo mon sorry because asofo mon sorry na Ghana edu baby esese edu na che say more ka kire yen say and sorry no mo hu ni mfaso say in sorry who won faso a mon sorry now na mon kan kire government no how to lead the people say ahemfo mo hu won faso a mon sorry na mon ka say enough is enough say mon sorry me ba lecture mu say one year masedinti ye be yi mu afi ho
but that's Kofi emreno asa na na musa MPP penny for year meeting says on chairman Wontumi
ye me hu hia
na asemba akopena me pesa me catch mu penny say yesuma banyansa for
sir
yensuma anamontenten na krobi asante kochoko eno Otumfo say to ababi o ka asem bi mre bi atwam oso hwatenten kase enkyere kotedenden ti say yena kwabrane te hona o yobribia na so odi domanima esese mpanin tena se pa homa so na sene se o pre dodo a na ya twe na betena mpanin akodwa so na yeto defo kwasi mosi a ye wo no bemereda a ye fre no entwibo si ako emra na odi akakabe nsem no na nkrofo adwen ye won se MPP enya chairman anani eden na ono na betimi ehuri agina e wa santimem na one NDC for achia yam sa adwen ne ba nkrofo tirimu pe na papa pani bi a me pese me boni din e wo party no ka kire me se kwadwo ya wieye aba you say do baby no Wontumi obie na no ade opɛ no ka kire kufo eba ni mu ade opɛ no no ka kire MPP nkwakora ne mmerwa wo wa santimem wonwa wo tu mrika twa hasuo muntum adaban epru nsuo enwunu me party no ho ya akono no na wanya gold etimi digu ni boot na wabie ne car boot na watimi akan ni gold dodo na odi atwa mpani a di party ne kane mpoa
ene monne
emra ofro edua kasɛ wo ho no na yɛse ɔyɛ bɛma kukudurufo a nani eden na wo memra ɔte sɛ ɛsɛ ofisuru si fam a na nafu ɛna nam dua no ho no obesi fam no ɛna mpanifo no hu sɛ na onyina na ofro na onyina bia no kasɛ wo ho tama ya bojata na Wontumi ehuri gya no na nkrofo se ya bɛmɛ na wo bɛmɛ mu na ye budget so na mom ohuri fi akire ekosi animu a atentewo na wo de to no eja to mu no ene ehunu sese na ne to afọ na petrol nko a emra na echimfo ne akwafo ekwa ha ntama no na yesi onu de ogira ho no ye ohina damfo nti otimi bochichi ekura poma chia ne pa sade ope na oteto ya no ye hu sese na ye stroke yare What said that here? Hu pa wo wontumi asem ni mu no. Sabe ya buru sabe ya nyado, nyame na mekere de akyea menye. Na de hu pa wo wontumi asem no sim se, MPP mpanifo nyina wonim de. A obetumi akwa asem ni sini anim, e ma na adwene se ya bre. Ye kan. E na manti. Wo bia obeyi wanim wo benhia no beje nim kwase. Tisan. Semiye ubia obeyi wanim menhia opakura akufu ado nko obeje animguase
apem
efise se akonya bo apia enya ahenkwa na tene no akonya ebo apia enya ahenkwa na tene no and then now what you make catch yourself obia ne ho odin power asase so no onto ne nsantem ni pebia ne ho odin power asase so no wona ne kokko a onto ne nsantem Russia ema netofo warning sa oma America warning sa oma Ukraine warning sa ade amoye enyo ade amoye enyo na ye de Putin aba na wasan ko position no ma sa de naba ne prensa so o se ye me ho odin pa ti man to me nsantem so muje wado a